I'm surprised that there hasn't been a big boy vroom vroom up the sand hill rendering by Philip.
Listen, Philip's a busy man, and I understand that, so I want to preface what I'm about to say by saying that. But Philip's the worst. Saved it, huh?
Oh, for the podcast?
Yeah.
You know what I actually...
Last radio show in America. Thank God they finally got a break. Whew. Johnny the Duck's out of work because of you.
Well, we didn't know until Monday.
Keep adding stations.
Poor Lisa.
Lisa's out there serving chicken.
So she works at a chicken restaurant now?
Yeah, and Johnny can't get any work because the poor guy was a duck.
So I look up, I see her walk out of the bedroom, and she's staring at this thing.
Boy, she pees in her bedroom, too.
I mean, there's a bathroom in there.
She pooped on the carpet down here in front of the door last year. Get a real monster. Should you want to bring a child into the world of that?
How's the piano playing coming, by the way?
Oh, I mean, you learn more every day, Steve.
You're a virtuoso at this point, I bet.
More notes and sharps and flats.
Yeah.
Big ones and small ones.
Big flats and small flats.
And then that
That
kick off, for God's sake. And then that kick pedal thing. You know, the bass drum.
the bass drum.
In case you're wondering what the exclamations are for, it's been a while, but yes, Steve's microphone is falling again. All the more urgency to begin building APS 4.0 so we can get a proper microphone mount there. Do we just need to, well, one, I'm thinking drill a hole right in this table so you can sink your microphone arm right into it.
That's a great idea. That's a simple idea.
I mean, you'll never need this table again. You won't have, 1 billion kids' birthday parties and other parties.
Oh, God.
That you'll have to, go rent chairs for.
Put up a tent in the yard.
You'll have a pool by that point, I'm guessing.
A swimming pool?
Yeah. So
I
you can
hope
just
not.
do most of it outside.
No. Oh, God, no.
So you're not going to be the dad who,
No.
when
we're going to the roller derby.
And your kid's 8 or 9 and having tantrums and bored in the summer, and you won't let him or her ride their bike to their friends because that's across 3 of the busiest roads in the state.
Oh no, they're riding right over to your house.
Oh, doors are locked.
Because that would probably be a pretty significant ride, right?
Yes.
What's that, probably 5 miles
down
like the busiest road.
The only thing you have a sidewalk, but
sidewalk the whole way, I think.
But conversely, a very large hill.
Yeah.
That your child would have to ride up, only for them to arrive at my house to shuttered blinds, locked doors.
I want to go to Uncle Kyle's. See you later.
And a no solicitor sign.
Very nice of you to welcome my unborn child to your house.
So you don't think, though, age 8 or 9, I'm sure it will come. Because I remember when I was a kid, we had this conversation with my parents, too. We're like, come on, Dad, why can't we just get a pool?
Yeah.
I'll help take care of it. It's the same conversation as when you have a puppy.
Yeah, I want a puppy. I'll walk him every day.
Yeah.
I'll feed him. I'll clean up the poop in the yard.
So you don't think you'll acquiesce to that conversation? Now, you're a guy, we've talked about this. You have a whim now and then. Like, I didn't know you were in the market for a pole barn in your backyard.
Yeah, those were the days, huh?
The good old days.
That is long gone. By the way, the pole barn has been downsized to a nice size shed.
A nice size shed.
Yeah,
so
we were looking yesterday.
You'll be able to fit your lawnmower, your other seasonal trinkets that you don't want to put in the garage.
Yep. Yeah, the snowblower's got to go in there in the summer. My scooter is going to go in there. My hog.
Oh, why don't we go in there? We just need to make the scooter a 4-season rider.
Like put some big off-road tires on it?
You're darn right. You know, I see those idiots, and I will not take it back. If you're one of the people that does this, if you're one of those idiots who bicycles in the winter with those stupid fat tires,
yeah.
I don't care for you.
Well, I don't know. I don't fault. They're exercising and they want a way to get out and exercise, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
you look
jog.
ridiculous.
Yes.
Like, you look really dumb because it looks like you're riding a big child's bike. But yeah, there's this guy. I swear, I see him either on his fat tire or running every single day. He must run like every day at about the same time, because I see him every day when I'm on my way home from work. And like the other day, it was 5 degrees and snowing, and he's out there just running along. I'm like, what are you doing? Unless you're training for the Olympics, which you're not, is it that worth it? Like, go to the Y and hop on a stationary bike and pedal for an hour.
Didn't you do that though?
I did.
When you were training for, you used to run the occasional marathon and the half marathon. You were that guy out there in 5 degrees thinking, I've got to get these miles in no matter what.
Yeah, and then I had the realization, which he apparently hasn't had yet, that it's pointless.
That there's no real reward.
There's none.
It's just pain and discomfort.
Yeah.
For what?
I always tried to tell myself, like, I always feel good after a run, which is true, but I still feel bad.
Right.
Because I just ran for 3 hours.
Man.
Not worth it.
So you don't think, because like I said, but we digress. Mm-hmm. You've been prone to a whim or two. Now, typically it's home improvement.
Yeah.
You don't think you could be talked into, this kid's 8 or 9. You've had the tax returns of having an 8 or 9-year-old. Dad, come on. Let's go down to the local shop.
Buy a pool.
See if we can get a pool installed. You've already got the deck for it, right?
Yeah, our deck is falling apart, though.
Thinking about tearing that down?
Yeah, that's coming down at some point.
Okay, so now it's all the more reason. Build it up or build it around your fake pool.
Maybe what we'll do is we'll rebuild the deck with the idea that in the future
it could
accept a pool.
Could you see yourself being a pool guy, though? Because I think you have to be like my mother-in-law they have a pool, and the level of work seems
ridiculous,
stupid.
I don't think
checking pH levels and chemical levels and cleaning and sweeping and roboting and buying different covers and there's a leak in the liner. It's another $1,000. I
don't think I would. And the reason I say that is because my neighbor, he's got a pool. He's got a beautiful pool. His backyard is like, it's just one of those yards that you look out and you're like, man, that guy, he takes care of his yard. Like, his grass is always perfectly cut. He cuts it like every 3 days. It's got the lines, like with the alternating stripes and everything.
Sure.
Everything, like all the bushes are just perfect. You look in his backyard, he's got this beautiful pool with a big slide going into it. Nice green grass around the outside. And I'd see him in the summer. I see him out there quite a bit, just doing maintenance or skimming the top of the pool. You see the little vacuum driving through the pool. I've seen them in that pool 0 times. Never. He never goes in it. The only time I've seen someone in that pool is when my dog Lola fell in it last summer.
All of the work for no reward.
Yeah.
Now, I would normally agree with you. I would, you're sitting here, you're looking me in the eye, and you're telling me you're not, you can't see yourself having a pool. But there was a time in your life where you probably said, why would I ever own a jet ski? That's stupid.
Yeah.
How far away from the ocean were you again? Or how far away from where you could?
Oh, God, I don't know. It was from my apartment, I had to drive like 6 miles in one direction to the storage unit where I kept it at.
Sure. Which was more inland than where you needed to be, I'm assuming.
Which I paid more. The rental of the storage unit was more than the note on the jet ski, the monthly note on the jet ski. So I had to drive like 6 miles, hook that thing up,
pop the unit door, drive
about 20 miles north to put it in the water. At the cost of, I think, $20 each time I had to pay to put it in the water. And where I put it in the water, it wasn't like it was right on the ocean. It was it was through this inlet.
Yeah, you told. Yeah,
it was off of an inlet, and it was a no wake zone the whole way. And if you're not familiar, It means you can't throw up a big wave when you basically have to idle through the inlet.
It's the worst.
It was a 40-minute just idle, like
just to get to the shark village.
Just to get to the point. Then the coolest part, though, was once you got through the no-wake zone, there was this real narrow inlet, and it was probably 200 yards long out to the ocean.
Yeah.
So when you hit that inlet, no-wake zone ended, and you put the hammer down, and you could hit, like that thing would do, I think its top speed was 62 or something.
Is that knots?
No.
Not
That's miles.
knots.
That's
Whoa!
miles per hour. And it would, I mean, you'd hit that, you finally hit the ocean, and there's always waves coming in.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, it feels like you're flying for 1,000 feet.
Just
because you...
Within 2 minutes, you're so rocky, you're almost falling off the jet ski.
And then it didn't matter. August, it doesn't matter that the water, the ocean temperature, it's still like 60 degrees.
It's the same. It's a constant.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, wetsuit, whether it's half or three-quarter, like, it's just miserable. The whole thing, terrible idea.
With
that being said,
yeah.
I was also, let's see, that was 07, 06 maybe. So I was 25. So I feel like that's a prime time for making bad purchases.
I would argue that the time for that is closer to like 18 to 21, and it's one of those things where you're like, you've randomly gotten a subscription to, Jet Ski Monthly, and you're like, Ma, Dad, gotta have the new Wave Crawler Triple Z.
That was a Yamaha VX 110 Sport.
It's got the 2-stroke in it. The mileage is great. But 25 is 25 out of the realm of being able to call a jet ski purchase ill-advised. I think we put that on the poll because I think 25...
look, I'm not defending it. It was a terrible idea, whether I was 18, 21, or 40. But you know what the worst part about it was? I was still driving remember my red truck?
Yeah.
I was still driving that at the time. That was a 93 Ford Ranger with, at that time, it probably had 160,000 miles on it. Yet I had a brand new jet ski, hot off the lot.
Refused to upgrade
I'm going to pull up the exact picture so you can look at that thing.
Oh.
It was nice, right?
Man, you're 25, you're
living at the beach.
Going to the beach, you're trying to get the jet ski off that garbage truck as quick as possible so the chicks only see the jet ski and not the truck.
Right, yeah. Every time I backed down the ramp to put it in the water, I thought to myself, oh, God, I swear if my emergency brake doesn't hold.
This is the
because
time.
then you have to unload it from the trailer, and if you don't have a friend with you, you just have to leave it floating there and hope it doesn't float away in the time that you have to go and pull your vehicle back up the ramp and park it like a quarter of a mile away.
You have to, stay jet ski, stay. I'm just going to go move the truck. Mm-hmm. And then you have to run around. Oh, and you did that for a couple of years as we've talked about.
No, I had it for 2 summers. In 2 summers, I put 17 hours on it. They were measured, those things, like it's not like a car where it's measured in, miles that you put on it. It's like a riding lawnmower. Yeah, measure it in hours. So I had, I think, 17 hours on that jet ski, and then I sold it for, I think, $100 less than I owed on it. So I basically broke even on it,
which is fine, right?
I mean, but
it could have been a learn. But you know what? I think if you had lost on it, Steve, like you had just lost your tail on this thing.
Yeah,
maybe that would have been what. The teaching moment you so needed, because for ever so briefly today, you've discussed the possibility of maybe having a pool down the road.
No, you've discussed the possibility.
Well, you seemed more open to it than what I initially thought.
Well, I would think that
we could rebuild the deck with that in mind,
I think we can both agree that me getting a pool would be a much more reasonable purchase than 25-year-old me getting a jet ski.
Okay.
You have to agree with that, right? I mean, at least I will get some kind of enjoyment out of a pool.
Oh boy, I feel like 25-year-old jet ski Steve is a happy.
The only time I had fun with that is when I was actually in the water on it.
Yeah. But I feel like
that was such a, like, if I wanted to go out in the water on it, that would constitute 45 minutes of the greater 3.5 hour time investment.
I feel like 25-year-old Jet Steve is a happier man than, let's call, 44-year-old Pool Steve.
You think?
I think so. I think you're out there. You're on, vacation that you guys take every other month or every other week.
But see, the idea with jet ski was always like, I'm going to get so many chicks. Like, you see it on Baywatch, and you see zipping around the waves, and like there's the hot chicks in bikinis on the shoreline, like, hey! But yeah, that doesn't happen. It's not how it works.
But 25-year-old Steve, even out there, doesn't know that or want to believe
yeah, it's
that.
kind of ignorance is bliss.
Whereas mid-40s Steve is going to bed the night before knowing he's neglected the pool for 2 weeks, and before this pool party tomorrow where there's going to be 25 screaming 8-year-olds.
Oh, God.
You have to wake up at the crack of dawn.
You're right.
And go out there and scrape.
Right. Jet Steve is so much happier
than Pool Steve. Okay, yeah, that's going to have to be the poll. Who's a happier man, Jet Steve or Pool Steve? Future Pool Steve.
Yeah, it was 25-year-old Jet Steve.
Yep.
Or 44-year-old Pool Steve. All right, vote on that at facebook.com/Stephen Kyle or on Twitter @Stephen Kyle.
I could see you just like I come over for the podcast or whatever, and you got your pool. Hey, you're just a defeated man because now your life revolves around the pool. Even when you're going away on vacation, you and Annette talked about becoming big holiday travelers. You talked about, you already screwed the pooch there with having a kid.
Yep.
And second, be like, oh, hey, we just have to have someone come by 6 times twice a day to drop chemical tabs into this corner of the pool and run the vacuum and turn on this or that.
Oh, God.
Hear me out here.
I don't want a pool.
Hear me out here.
Okay.
We split the difference. You get a hot tub.
Or one of those treadmill pools where you just constantly swim.
I saw one of those,
like the Michael Phelps pools or whatever.
They had, I'm an old man now, so I was at the Home and Garden Show.
Sure, yeah, I've been there before.
2 weeks ago.
I didn't go this
week,
year, but
and we're walking walking all the vendors, and for whatever reason, and it's totally unnecessary to bring in and fill as many hot tubs as these companies do.
Yeah. Because nobody's testing them. Nobody's climbing in.
No, I'm not bringing my suit to hop in. I'm dipping my hand in and go, man, how nice would a hot tub be? Never, because it's unaffordable and it's a monstrosity to take care of.
See, I don't think they're that unaffordable. I think that they make them relatively affordable, don't they?
Well, price point, but if you want to heat it up in December, you're going to notice.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I did see one as I'm walking around the corner, and there's all these hot tubs. They've got their nowadays it's built-in speakers, and there's like grottos coming down from the corner,
and like flashing LED lights.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like a party bus, but filled with water.
Yeah.
And I'm walking down this one hallway, and I thought it was a Winnebago because it was set so high, and it was so large, and it was $28,000, and it was one of those treadmill pools that you would use to train to swim professionally.
Yeah.
In what universe, let's say the majority of the people at these shows are better than me, because I already don't know half the stuff I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. What percentage of those people are there looking for the hot new workout pool? Those are the people like.
Are they really $28,000?
$27,995.
Because I would imagine they come in different sizes.
Oh, this one
probably
was
not
massive. This one. So get that, just so there's a nice difference. So you can't enjoy a hot tub, and your kid can't enjoy a pool. So everybody's mad at Steve while you pay down a nearly $30,000 loan.
But can't you? You got to be able to shut off like the treadmill portion of it, right, and just kind of enjoy it.
But it's still so deep, and I think
you just get a folding chair, sit it in there, like an old couch.
So every month, this second mortgage comes out of your bank account, all for the thrill of you. You know, Saturday mornings, your kid rolls out of bed at 8 o'clock, and you walk in from the deck with a Speedo and those tiny baby goggles that barely cover your eye sockets. Woo! What a good swim today, kiddo. You want to get in there later?
Boy, this is not out of the realm of possibility, because maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I got really into swimming for a couple of weeks.
Listen, it's the greatest workout ever.
It. Oh, I had a great time with it. And the only reason I stopped doing it is because the gym that I used to go to, they had a pool in the basement. And it was, I don't know, like a 25-meter pool or something like that.
Nothing more scenic than a basement pool.
Yeah. It was, it was a little shady, but my gym membership, it was like some ridiculous deal. It's no wonder that the place shut down because they were only charging like $10 a month for membership, and they had like racquetball courts and a pool, and I took full advantage of both.
Yeah.
But the reason I stopped is because they sold the gym. Like I went to go there one day, and there was just a note on the door. It said like, "Sorry, folks, we sold the gym to a church." So,
wow,
they just closed up shop. But that was great. I loved it. I loved going there and swimming. The only thing is I could not do the flip turn, the kick flip turn.
Oh yeah, so where you're swimming, you swim straight and roll your somersault your body mid-stroke essentially and kick off the wall, right?
You have to flip, but then you also, because if you just flip, then you end up upside down when you...
Oh, yeah, so you have to flip and roll.
You have to flip and twist.
Yeah.
And there was a certain method. It was like something like as you're swimming, you like push your left hand down and out while you lift your right hand. I don't know. There was some magic combination, and I hit my head on that effing wall so many times.
Oh,
I could not master it for the life of me. And I would go to the gym with the sole intention of
just doing that.
You are just going to do kick turns, kick flips, whatever they're called, all day until you get it. Because I feel like it's one of those things, once you finally get it, your body goes like, oh, of course. It's like riding a bike. Once you figure it out, you just know how to do it. I could not get it for the life of me.
I bet you we can help you. Now, we've asked some really weird questions. Mm-hmm. There was a time not too long ago, actually, where we were discussing Rosh Hashanah,
Yom Kippur,
and we had a couple of people chime in, message us. We have a show Jew.
We do.
His name is Brian. He said we can.
Weird to say still.
He said we can contact him anytime.
Do you think he knows how to do kick turns?
But I'm just saying, like, we've got to have somebody who randomly, like,
there's got to be a swimmer.
Really knows swimming, right?
Any swimmer out there, if you live in the area, if you have an indoor pool, you want to give me some lessons, I'm happy to stop by, and preferably like really close to my house, so I don't have to drive too far. So all the people, what I'm saying is all the people within like a 5-mile radius of me that have indoor pools.
Yeah. A lot of them.
Let me know.
A lot of them.
I'll be over there tomorrow.
I'll bet you we have a show, like we could get a show swimmer, a show swim expert. So please chime in because we have a pool in the summer. We could get you learned on this, Steve.
Yeah, and it'll be perfect for when I get my pool.
So in years down the road.
Wait, so am I getting like, because when we say that I'm getting a pool here, I think like the above ground kind of like octagon shaped one? Or are you thinking like Olympic?
Listen, you've got the space, lanes. You've got the deck. I think we start digging the dirt right now.
Okay, so we're gonna dig it by hand.
Maybe save a few bucks on that part of the deal.
Yeah.
And
contractors always love coming in and picking up where the idiots left off.
Hey, we got a semicircle of 15 feet deep. Does this help? Well, do you want your pool 15 feet deep?
No.
Just like 6, maybe 8.
You might have to push some of that dirt back in. Is that cool?
Oh, wow, this is more than the original quote. How does that happen? I think you do it all. I think you go all out.
Yeah, do you?
You take the... You get that, home equity loan. I hear rates are low.
Yeah. I mean, we bought at the right time too.
And if you do it now, if you think about this now, because you've given up on the pole barn dream. If you do it now,
pole barn dream's on hold.
I swear this podcast, you said it was dead.
Well, it's dead currently. So we're just gonna put a Band-Aid on the situation, get a shed. Maybe 5-6 years from now, we'll sell the shed, get a pole barn
at a sure loss.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take down the.
I do things in a certain way. By the way, it is Sunday, March 10th, 2019, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast, but we digress.
Sorry about that, Nikki.
That's only 25 minutes in.
So your plan now is to take the current shed you have down, which is that thing not usable?
It's falling apart.
It's falling apart.
It's
so
when you pull on the doors, they fall apart. It's just sitting on the ground, so it's kind of rotting from the bottom up.
So you're gonna tear that down yourself.
My mower doesn't fit in there without having to. It's basically Tetris. It's like, okay, this has to be over here. This has to be here. Mower can go straight in.
Okay.
So it's we need a little bit more room in there.
So you can rip that thing down yourself.
Ripping it down.
So you don't need to hire that out. That's easy enough.
Throw it in the dumpster. Yeah,
Yep.
I'll get a dumpster again.
You're gonna buy a shed.
Mm-hmm.
5 years, you're gonna sell that shed at an extreme loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then going to spend what you hope and what, because you got quotes on the well. Did you ever get an official quote from the pole barn, or was this the guy who came out who never?
No, yeah, there was a number of people that promised quotes. The one guy that did come out, he gave me a ballpark figure.
Yeah.
But then never actually wrote up a quote. You know what the worst part about that was? It was like 2 weeks ago, I saw somebody on the local watchdog page saying, hey, I was really hoping to get some work done at my house. I need a contractor. Can anybody recommend somebody for I think they were doing like a bathroom remodel or something. Yeah. And there were a number of replies. One of them was the guy that came out here and didn't give me a quote. And another one was the guy that said, I'll be there Thursday at 4:30 and never showed up. So I replied to the quote. I didn't call them out specifically. Like, I didn't point them out, but I said, hey, Wanda, just so you know, be careful, because two of the people that have commented on this post saying that they would give you estimates, one never showed up, one showed up and never gave me an estimate. So hopefully your expectations aren't too high. And then from that, I got an influx of, hey, we can come out, no problem. I'll be out there tomorrow.
Sure, yeah, because now they want the pole barn dream.
No.
The pole barn dream
leave
is
me
dead.
alone. I am done with this garbage.
I'm surprised the person because they had to know, right? Like, especially the one that came out.
He had to.
Had to have seen
I messaged him 2 or 3 times.
Well, he had to have seen your comment and be like, oh, yeah, that was me.
Yeah. I kind of wish I had tagged them.
Yeah. But your idea is to then sell your shed 1. Sorry, shed 2.
Yeah. Knock down shed 1, burn it, use it as firewood.
Yep. Build or buy or build shed 2. Sell that in 5 years at a loss to build shed 3, which is ETA and price to be determined as well at an extraordinary markup at that point.
Probably, yeah.
Well, you're right. You certainly do have a way to do things.
Got it all figured out right here.
It's real hard to argue with that. Boy, really weird to see how a guy could randomly buy a jet ski and then, 12 years later be somewhat enticed into buying a pool on a podcast.
I think the workshop dream is over.
Is it?
I think so.
It changes things, man.
It definitely does.
You're having children. I mean, It was months ago. Now, you had been trying, as you talked about. Was it last week where we told or 2 weeks ago where we were talking about this? You'd been trying for a while anyway, but you still had your plans. You said you and Annette even enjoyed traveling. 2 years in a row, you traveled over the holidays to different destinations, and seemed to maybe think that would be something you'd consider going forward. Mm-hmm. You had your workshop dream. People are coming out giving you quotes. You were lining up the checking account. And as we stand here today, you're looking for specialty windows. Mm-hmm. Still trying to sell a Jeep.
Yeah.
No pole barn.
Yeah. Going looking at carpet samples for a nursery.
So
things have changed a bit. Yeah, priorities shifted a bit.
It's been an adventurous few months, Steve, in the world of Steve's mind.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird too, because even before Annette was pregnant, when the whole workshop dream was out there, I honestly don't know if I ever would have been able to pull the trigger on that. Even if we had the money lined up, I don't know if I would have been able to justify that to myself.
That's something for, like, you really wanted it, though.
Yeah, I did. I still do.
And so are you thinking, like, maybe, kids in high school or that far down the road?
Yeah,
So
maybe
you're pushing it to the 50-year-old Steve area?
Yeah. Yeah, because where I am now, I don't need it. Sure, it would be great because I've talked about this before. I always plan on having some kind of project or like secondary vehicle that I'm tinkering around with. But yeah, as of right now, not really high priority.
Things change, Steve. Things change, and it's funny how quick that happens. Of course, we've still got our big boy vroom vroom up the sandhill plans this summer.
Yeah. Do we have a date set for that yet?
No. I mean, I figure, listen, you're the one who travels, 3 weekends out of 4 every month.
We're about a month away from hitting the
travel season.
The ridiculous amount of travel season.
May see some scattered episodes. As it stands, these episodes should never be late.
Yeah. Yeah, now we'll have to do a generic evergreen episode that'll be released sometime in September. Just like when Baby Reed arrived. I mean, never mind. That was not a generic episode at all. That was 100%
it was recorded the same date and time.
Topical.
Oh, what? I mean, nothing to see here.
Yeah. Remember talking about those nutty politicians in Washington?
Woo! Boy, what a weird time to be alive, Steve.
Yeah.
And another thing that's not changing is we have a big thing coming up.
We do.
And listen, to say this has snuck up on me is an understatement.
Yeah.
We are less than 4, or are we just under 4 weeks away?
It would be 4 weeks from yesterday. Yeah.
So by the time you're listening to this, 3.5 weeks from the Billboard visit in Van Wert, Ohio. Almost 1 year, I think it'll be 11 months from when we started crowdfunding for this thing.
Was it?
To
yeah,
when the
it
Billboard...
it was in May, I think, that we first came up with the idea for it. I don't think we crowdfunded until the summer, though.
I thought it was May, because we ended that thing in June.
Well, then it was probably May then.
Because we wanted to get to the Billboard in the fall.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had to push things because of the impending birth of my child.
Mm-hmm.
But it's happening, folks. It's happening. It's less than 4 weeks away. And the one thing I want is to not be fully embarrassed. And it's just you and me sitting there, Steve.
That would be pathetic. I'd feel like we've accomplished nothing in these last 140 episodes, give or take.
So we've made an event on Facebook. Again, this is Saturday, April 6th, Van Wert, Ohio. That's in the middle of Ohio. Mm-hmm. Van Wert, Ohio. It's we can actually post. By the time you're listening to this, we'll have the exact location of the billboard posted. We can post it on the event page because that's where we'll be meeting. And the contract is signed. We have the visual proof back of the billboard that's going up.
This whole thing, here's what happened. Like a month and a half ago, Joe, the billboard man.
Yeah.
Joe, what did we call him? Joe Bo or Joe?
Jason.
Jason sent us an email saying, hey, let's talk about what you want the billboard to look like. And I said, don't you worry. We got an artist. He's going to cover it for us. Send me all the specifics. So he said, all right, it needs to be this size by this size at this resolution. Perfect. Sent it off to Philip. Philip came up with an incredible design, sent it back to us. We then forwarded it to our billboard man, Jason, and he said, all right, I'm going to get back to you with a proof, which is weird because we just sent him the proof. 2 weeks later, he sent us the same picture we had sent him and said, does this look good? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, we did it. Well, I mean, we didn't do it, but...
That's what we sent you.
The only thing he did was he put... He put like a little frame around it.
He
made it look like it was a billboard.
And then he put, the company notes down on the side, like the numbers that they needed for when they get sent off. So
yeah,
it was a weirdly long process.
I know.
That again involved
sending
mailing
checks.
a check. It involved again. We're dealing with 1980s advertising, but again, this is coming up Saturday, April 6th. That is less than 4 weeks away. Van Wert, Ohio. Put it in your calendars, and we want to know, because I know not everybody's on Facebook. Maybe not everybody follows us on Facebook. We do have an event page, facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. It is there. We'll post it again. If you look at our most recently posted, you'll see that event there. Please click RSVP. Please share it. If you're coming, let us know if you're coming. Or if you're not going, use hashtag I'm going on Twitter. Let us know.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want a head count.
Yeah, because we need to know how many pond scums we're buying. Plus, we need to cross-reference our list of people who donated with people who are coming. Because if you, as you know, if you did not donate, you'll be there drinking the tallest, the frothiest, the greenest glass of pond scum that can be made by that bar.
In Van Wert, Ohio. Now, there is some controversy afoot, Steve, that I wanted to bring up to you that appeared on my Twitter feed last night.
Oh, boy.
And I was a bit occupied last night.
It's more controversial than the mix-up with the former host of the former chicken host.
Oh, no. No, this isn't as bad. But I have to pose a question to you. Now, we have an instance here of somebody who donated to the GoFundMe that we posted for this billboard who cannot make the trip. Looking to transfer their purchased drink to somebody who will be going. But to throw one more wrench into the spokes here, the person she wants to transfer that drink to are the loan sharks, the brothers Humphrey.
Oh, boy. No, nope.
So Steve's saying no.
No. I do not want to be financially involved with the brothers Humphrey at all.
But would you rather be making the brothers Humphrey upset at you by telling them...
It's like I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Because if I let them in the door, they're gonna strong arm me into paying them monthly for protection.
Yeah, it's like the lawyers, but they only handle the business side of the mob. Yeah. They don't handle the mob portions. But here, you're trying to separate that.
In case you're not familiar, the brothers Humphrey, Kyle, is indebted to them for the sum of $10, I believe.
$10 American dollars.
Because he did not have cash at the Jimmy Pardo show to buy a Jimmy Pardo poster. Brothers Humphrey on the scene. Yeah, don't worry, we'll take care of you. There's 3 points.
It was crazy. There was a circle around me, arms on both of my shoulders, a little too heavy. And their voices changed. There was a bucket of oranges in the corner. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, there's a 10 spot sitting in my pocket. So, yeah, Betsy, I can't be there. I want a Humphrey to drink in my stead. And she recruited. Apparently, Betsy has no idea what she's involving these poor people with. She's recruited our friend Zach to ensure compliance. So now Zach's wrangled up into this mob effort to get a loan shark a free drink at our expense, Steve. So where do we stand?
I guess. Why not? We're not running this, apparently.
So we have to now pony up in Betsy's stead a drink for the mob boss, one half of the brothers Humphrey.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, we're worried about our kneecaps. Is that accurate?
Right, yeah. No, they get whatever they want. Whatever they want.
Again, that's hashtag I'm going on Twitter. If you're coming along, I know there's some people who have mentioned it. They're buying some merchandise to go. We're still working on an exact location.
Did somebody order a mini skirt?
Somebody ordered the mini skirt.
Somebody ordered the mini skirt, but didn't somebody say that they were going to be wearing like the leggings or something?
Yeah,
I saw you reply saying like, let us know if the image has to be adjusted.
And somebody wants us to change the color on some of the leggings, so I'll try to make that work here this week with that person. That's at steveandkyle.com/merch. You can get that for all of the upcoming, as you heard Steve say, your side gigs. Travel season is nearly upon. upon you, and there is nothing that gets those hot-headed, overpaid gas bags roaring.
You know how when you listen to like Jimmy Pardo's podcast or other Bert Kreischer or all the other comedians that have podcasts, they always take that, like, they take a little commercial break and then they get to talk about their gigs, their upcoming gigs.
Oh yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah, let's say you got a little bed for you to play, and I'll just take a step back.
Yeah, I think we need to take a second here to pay the bills, as they say. So we'll be back.
Rent ain't free.
Right after this. Hey guys, Steve here from the Steve and Kyle podcast. Just want to let you know that got some upcoming gigs in, on Friday, March 22nd, I'm going to be with the side gig in Decatur, Illinois. The week later, Friday the 29th of March, I'll be in Wilkes-Barre, PA with the side gig. Just 2 weeks later, that's April 12th, I'll be in Albany for a morning show and a night show with the side gig. 1 week later, be in Flint with the morning show, or with the side gig for a morning show. Week after that, the 26th of April, I'm going to be in Kokomo, Indiana. The granddaddy of them all. The Windy City, Kokomo, Indiana on the 26th for a side gig with the morning show. 2 weeks after that, May 10th, I'll be in Portland, Maine, the city that never sleeps, they call it. Morning show and a night show with the side gig, and we'll cut it off there. Thanks for the support.
Hey guys, Kyle here. Got some dates coming up for you for the Steve and Kyle podcast. Hey, I need the music.
Oh, sorry.
Coming up Saturday, April 6th, Van Wert, Ohio. That's right, Van Wert, Ohio. Saturday, April 6th, we'll be there.
What else?
I mean, we've still got that. We're going to go hit the conspiracy tour on the East Coast. You and I are going Pine Barrens. We're going
Pine Barrens, yeah.
We're going Mothman. We got that. That's coming up.
Now, whatever happened to our plans for the trip to go to upstate New York to see our friends at OCC and Paul Jr. Designs?
These are all things we need.
And then there was somehow a helicopter ride in there that was going to take us to
yeah, don't we have a helicopter?
That was going to take us to Birmingham to see to
see your minor league baseball
team. The Montgomery Biscuits.
Yeah. So who was our pilot for that? If I remember right, we had a pilot who offered his services. We didn't force anybody into anything.
No.
Offered their services to give us the weirdest day in American history, from going to 2 motorcycle shops to a AAA affiliate in Birmingham, Alabama.
It's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a long day.
Especially in a helicopter.
I've never ridden in one. I wonder if it's even comfortable. I don't know.
Is it like Airwolf? Does it go like 3,000 miles an hour?
Yeah. Do we have to pay?
I can't imagine those rides are free.
Yeah, I mean, you get the sponsorship on this podcast, though, you know?
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah. So
again, that is the Billboard visit, Saturday, April 6th. Let us know if you're coming. We are still working on final details here to figure out where we're going to have some drinks, some food.
Yeah. SteveandKyle.com/merch, so you can be totally merched up for the Billboard, but also for all of those gigs, the side gigs, dates I was talking about.
Those gas bags love nothing more than when after their 4-hour blab fest, there is a line of people wearing, Pete the Pirate Realty shirts.
That's the thing. If you do show up to a side gigs show and you have some of the Steve and Kyle merch on, you have to group up with all of the other people that have it on too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we're standing there taking pictures and shaking hands, there will be a line of like 10 people in a row that come through with it on.
Well, it's a sign of camaraderie, too, so you guys should all be sitting together in the same area. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember the live show that we had, the Outburst. I believe it was during a break where people held a sign up and said, "We love the Steve and Kyle podcast."
That is beautiful. Recommended. I still think we should make like cardboard, like we'll post a picture just of your head.
Yeah.
That people can then half printed at Kinko's or whatever
Yep.
on like the massive size cardboard cutouts of your head.
Yeah, and carry that and hold that up in the live show so everybody can see that Gone But Not Forgotten is Steve's podcast partner.
Put RIP. Maybe have a ribbon in there somewhere. What color ribbon do you
But
want?
make sure it's a color ribbon that's not already being used.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any
don't
left.
use pink.
Like, is brown being used for anything? Is there a brown ribbon?
I don't think so. I think that's you. That's
see.
the RIP Kyle ribbon.
Let me see if there is any cause, that people are tying brown ribbon around a tree for or anything. What does a brown ribbon... Oh, come on. What does a brown ribbon stand for? Anti-tobacco and colorectal cancer.
Huh.
Yeah, nailed it.
Okay. All right.
That's the one. That's our cause.
yeah.
Is
No, maybe let's see. What about a black ribbon? Black ribbon can't be anything, right?
Boy, by the way, it's going to be hard to do a brown ribbon anti-tobacco if my picture is of me with a cigarette hanging out of my mouth.
Very good point.
Oh, yeah. Symbol of remembrance or mourning. So I guess that works.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. So
We already know yellow's in use, pink's in use.
I think red. That's
Red
probably in
is-
use.
Purple? Purple anything?
I'm sure purple's in use. Yeah.
Do I just need to pick an off color like maroon or teal?
Burgundy.
Oh, good. I have a list of awareness ribbons. I can't even get maroon.
Who's got that?
Multiple myeloma awareness.
All right.
So multiple myeloma, Steve, obviously but for everybody out there listening who has no idea, is a plasma cell myeloma, cancer of plasma cells, white blood cell normally responsible for producing antibodies. So maroon's out. Yellow's used for everything. Lime green is used for non-Hodgkin lymphoma awareness.
What's regular green?
We're not there yet. Let me... Oh my God, there's checkered. There is... It looks like green's available.
Really?
Maybe we go with forest green?
Oh, and that works perfectly because you're a Michigan State guy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Green. Let me make sure. Maybe Wikipedia doesn't have all the answers. Make sure the green ribbon is not being used for anything right now. Mental health awareness.
So you're saying it's out?
Yeah, seems like it's up.
Okay. Well,
Jade, hepatitis B, and liver cancer.
What color
Listen,
what
all
color
the
is jade?
ribbons are Jade's like a light blue-green, kind of like a teal.
okay.
Purple, opioid crisis awareness. Spirit Day and victims of homophobia.
What?
Awareness of interpersonal domestic violence and abuse prevention.
All right.
Epilepsy awareness. Lupus Awareness Month.
Oh boy. Didn't know that.
Even white is a global symbol for men and boys working to end male violence against women.
Okay.
Zebra print. Houndstooth ribbon.
I thought you were going to say like Zebra Awareness Month.
Zebra print ribbon is just rare disease. They just lump them all in.
Okay.
Because apparently colorectal, it needs its own. But the
Sure.
rest of them get lumped into zebra print. Red, white, and blue ribbon was used in Omaha, Nebraska recently. Well, that means it's out.
All right. So we got some work to do.
I need a fat head of me at a live show.
That will happen. That'll definitely
Now,
happen.
if you're willing to do this, let us know what we need to do or how we can help. We can post a picture or send you a
I
picture.
don't think we need to. People can find a picture of you somewhere.
I don't like that idea. I don't love it.
So you want to be in control of you're trying to be in control of the media.
Well, I would prefer, a picture of my
so-
wife and I, not on a fat head.
Right? On your wedding day or something.
Yeah, I'm good without that. That's a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to
But
do that,
I'm saying like I'm sure that we've posted
Oh,
enough
sure.
stuff on Twitter or
Yeah.
Facebook where somebody can easily find a picture of you.
you heard the dates and the details there. And again, you can visit his Side Gigs website for all those tickets if you're going to any of those live shows. Please, that is the one thing I want, because there's nothing I enjoy more than me knowing that there were like a bunch of eye rolls from your co-hosts when they see this.
Yeah.
And when those pictures, you're taking your pictures afterwards and everybody's like, oh, love the show. Instead, it's, again, Steve wearing his federal boob inspector shirt. with Make Boobs Great Again.
I gotta find an email that was sent by Zach. Where is it? Oh, no.
But please, if you're willing to do that, let us know because, well, one, I want to know, and I think that would give me a kick. And two, Steve needs to be made aware, so when he's at the show, he can grab a photograph of it and post it to all of our social media. So please please do that.
So our good buddy Zach sent an email to the radio show, the side gig, 3-4 days ago.
At the main account there?
That was the main account, yeah. And he was commenting on something that happened on the radio show, and he ended his email with "Love the Steve and Kyle podcast and the show. Excellent work, Zach." I replied to him. I said, "You're a good man, Zach. Very nice."
Everybody needs to do that. We've tried this in the past, but if you call into that show, if you're one of the few who want to do something like that, and you get through, everybody always says, "Hey," like it's always the stutter step of, "Hey guys, how are you?"
Mm-hmm. Don't do that.
You don't need to. Listen, you're calling into a radio show. We're not meeting each other. Like, just get it over with. You bypass that awkwardness by going, "Hey guys, love the Steve and Kyle podcast. The show's fine." I need somebody to do that for us.
Yeah. Well, you'll be featured on this here podcast. We'll feature that audio.
Now, I'm the only Kyle who's ever listened to that monstrosity, so I can't sneak through.
I don't know if that's
I've
true
polled
or not.
them. I've polled all the Kyles.
Have you?
And they have determined that radio show is, like Philip, the worst.
All right.
Hey,
you know that's still like it's still my main source of income, right?
Hey,
that is the money that I will use to feed my baby.
I'm a statistician, Steve. I'm just collecting votes. I'm not influencing them in any way. I think I'm being more than fair to that disaster.
Of course. By the way,
Radio's dead.
This is strictly for you and I. 385.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you.
That's a big day for you.
It's a huge day.
Bonuses kick in.
Oh, yeah.
The pole barn?
The pole barn's back, baby.
Pole barn's
pole
back
barn
in
and
play.
a pole barn with an inside pool.
Now, unlike the...
how about... picture me this. Come along for this journey with me. Pole barn with a second floor glass bottom pool.
Okay. Okay. So keep signing up for whatever it is you're hawking over there now, because I'm close to having a pool guy.
Anyway, I feel like we've discussed nothing so far.
Oh, no, we haven't. No, it's been an absolute disaster. We've talked about the billboard. Yeah, that's really about it. I did want to mention, because it's coming up very, very soon, Steve. Very soon, before we wrap this episode up. Actually, it probably should be starting next week. I'll have to do some math. In the next 2 weeks, we have the return of the Throat Goblin Tournament.
Oh, boy.
This is a big time, and if I thought the billboard snuck up on us, this has really snuck up on us.
Yeah, I'm not sure how, because it's like one of the most continuous themes throughout this podcast history.
Now, I have a folder of all of the throat noises from this past year. The numbers are yet to be unveiled. The seedings, the brackets, those will be all unveiled in the next 2 weeks here coming up. Last year, just a wild success. We're going to do it a little bit differently this year. It's going to be all polls on our social media. There's not going to be any videos to go along with it. Okay. So you're going to need to listen to the episode to hear the matchups and vote on them on our social media afterwards. And that's not our fault, but we're not going to upload 60 videos to YouTube again. That's very time
consuming, don't we, for Twitter? Because we had to do that because you can't just post audio clips.
No, we're not going to post any audio.
Oh, we're not. Okay.
Yeah, I think you have to listen to the episode.
Okay.
Listen to the episode, get the matchups. Use your discerning ear to vote on which Steve and Kyle.
Hey, welcome to the big dance.
Now we need to talk about. Are we going? Now I have. I'll have to look, but I think I have 2 or 3. Steve,
I think what we
should we announce what ones are mine, or
no? I don't think so. I don't want to influence the vote.
That's what I'm thinking, because as we all know, everybody hates me. So we have to leave that a mystery.
Yeah.
So I have 1, 2. I have 3.
Okay.
Now, I don't even know if all 3 of those are going to make the tournament.
Boy, what are they-
the
so-
selection committee has some choices to make this year, Steve.
Man, imagine if you, like, the upset of all upsets would be if one of yours won.
Oh, man.
Because of the 3, maybe only one makes the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And that's the one that ends up coming out on top all the way.
That would be incredible.
All the way to the Flemmy 4.
One shining moment would be incredible.
Now, if you're newer to the podcast, again, that's the throat noises that Steve's body makes. I think you have a little audio clip,
do,
Steve.
yeah.
It's just a quick montage of some of the
Oh, it's a montage. Good.
some of the heavy hitters coming this year
Good.
in the Throat Goblin National Championship tournament starting in the next 2 weeks.
Whoa! I gotta go back to this one.
I mean, there's some definitive number 1 seeds
Hold on.
in this tournament this year. But there are some cuts, Steve, that have to be made. The numbers just don't add up. That's your body. Well, or
Could be yours.
Or
Yeah,
mine.
that could be yours. Even I don't know.
betraying you so much on a microphone that amplified ever so slightly, it sounds like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like a horror movie, and you're walking through a swamp, and the monsters are coming from underneath you.
It is. It's like the creepy background.
And that was sent to you, I think we did that back
in
this
July.
summer.
Yeah.
We have added about 15 since then. So there's going to be some cuts. There's going to be some moves. You have to stay tuned to our social media. We'll be tabulating those votes. That'll be like a 4 or 5 week process as we pare those down.
And what we'll do is when we post links, when we post it on social media, we'll give you like the timestamp in the episode, so you can, if you want, you can jump right ahead to it.
Yeah, that's a
listen to
nice
it.
way to do it. And we can also, we can make that more accessible without you having to pour over YouTube videos like 50 times in a month.
Yeah, that was a bit excessive last year.
So again,
bit excessive.
It's a big time for this podcast
It is.
right now.
It's a huge time.
And still important to remember, Steve, $0 made.
Yeah, we're still at a loss of what, like $20 a month?
Oh yeah. If we're taking cumulative, in the black or in the red, we have a massive hole to dig out from.
So we're still looking for advertisers.
Why? Listen, if you want to say that, that's fine. But we actually have to take the, I think Stan the Movie Man at one point was going to, but I think we ticked him off enough with our recent interview. We've had a few people mention that they would be interested. So yeah, listen, if you're interested in advertising on this thing,
Stan. Okay, now I remember we had some really tough contract negotiations, though.
Wait, whoa. I demand you retract we. I demand.
Look, this is we are in this together. Was it like auto-renewing?
It was auto-renewing. You pay 3 years up front. But
and when it auto-renews at like 3,000% what it was.
It was I would say I haven't seen contract negotiations like this, but I have. But it was something that I could not believe. But hey, listen, you're right. We're a team. I stand by you.
Thank you.
But yeah, if you have, and here's what I want, because if we take on advertising, I don't want to do like, our sponsor this week is Audible or Casper Mattress. Nope. That's fine. Whatever. No. You know what I want? I want this week over at Billy's Automotive Repair.
Yeah.
Mention the Steve and Kyle podcast and get 10% off brake pads.
Save you $4.
It's $4 we're putting into your pocket.
Nope, I'm not doing that.
You're not? Oh, I'll do it in a heartbeat. I'll read them.
All right.
If you're interested, please let us know.
All right, so basically, if you want to advertise, you get in touch with us. But know this, we're putting forth zero effort.
You mean compared to what we've done so far?
Yeah. Like, I already have a job that I get income from.
Yeah.
I don't I don't need this.
I want to do it. I want to do, local auto shop, maybe a down the road gold silver exchange.
Ooh, there we go.
Mention the Steve and Kyle podcast and they'll rip you off 6% less.
Send you a free ruby.
You get your pick of quartz from the catalog.
Ooh, fool's gold.
Yeah. Cubic zirconia.
Yeah.
So send us those again, either on Twitter or on Facebook, at Steve and Kyle on Twitter, facebook.com/Steve and Kyle, and we'll start being very discerning about our advertisers.
I think this is gonna be a little bit of a shorter episode this week. So
we started late.
Jump into the Fast Five?
Yes, sir.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, you want to go first?
Sure. No, I'll go. Selection Sunday, Steve.
Oh boy, can't wait. It's when all the selections are made, obviously.
Boy, a lot to talk about. Can't wait to get to that on the turnaround. R. Kelly.
I don't think he won too much favor with the outburst with Gayle King, right?
Yeah. It's crazy, though, what has happened since then, this week even. We'll talk about that on the turnaround. I'll never understand how this world functions. Next, Jennifer Lopez. News breaking late last
J-Lo
night,
do?
Steve.
Uh-oh. Her and A-Rod done?
Go ahead and get your party poppers in order.
What happened?
Your balloons ready.
They're ready.
Your congratulations cards.
I have it. Is she pregnant?
More on that on the turnaround.
You're not. No, you dirty dog.
Luke Perry.
Oh, R.I.P. Luke Perry.
That's sad, right?
Yeah. Beverly Hills 90210. Big part of my childhood.
52 years old, passed away.
Now, this guy, he was otherwise in perfectly good health, right?
Seemed like it, yeah.
Absolutely no issues. He wasn't struggling at all. Had a massive stroke last week and died a couple days later. That's terribly sad. That's the stuff
that's horrifying.
I've noticed in the last couple of months. That's the stuff that really affects me now.
Yeah,
like that.
The out of the blue.
Exactly, because you can pre-plan for all sorts of stuff, and you can like exercise and be in good shape, and be financially sound, and like have your kids' college funds paid for. But if you just croak out of nowhere, what the terrible.
Yeah, you still swim in the water with the sharks.
Yeah, all the time, tempting fate.
And lastly, Captain Marvel.
Oh boy, I saw the movie. It was great.
Oh, yeah. What did you think? Who was your favorite character, Steve?
Obviously, Batgirl. Surprise appearance by her.
I put this on here because I've stayed out of the weeds on whatever it's not even controversy. Have you read or know anything why this is some big upheaval about people campaigning against this? What's the reason?
I know that there is an upheaval, but I have no idea why.
Is it just because she's a female?
I guess so.
I guess I don't understand.
Is that, Brie Larson. Brie Larson, yeah.
Perfect, I thought, as Captain Marvel. I adored it. I thought it was a fantastic origin story. Made a truckload of cash, which gives me all the joy in the world because I like comic book and comic book movies.
She fought Superman?
That's the one.
Dean Cain playing Superman.
Obviously, they went back to the origin. They brought Terry Hatcher from whatever crypt she's been laying in.
Christopher Reeve.
One good arm, no good legs. Is that where we're at with him?
No.
None good?
He's dead.
Well, he's dead now.
He's been dead for like 10 years.
That's what but like when he was alive, was he quadriplegic?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a horse accident, right?
Yeah.
How many more episodes did he do?
Probably a dozen or so.
No more jokes about that. I have a few, but
don't feel good about that, right?
I have a few in there, but those will stay buried. Before that, Luke Perry passed away. Not the anti-hero, but he kind of had that.
I bet he was like the original teen heartthrob, though.
Yeah.
The teen heartthrob, bad boy, Beverly Hills 90210. He played Dylan McKay. He was like the yin to Jason Priestley's yang.
Yeah.
Jason Priestley, Brandon Walsh, the
clean cut,
studied all the time, was in the honor clubs, and things like that. And Dylan just rode his motorcycle and didn't he live on a houseboat or something?
All trying to woo the heart of Kelly Kapowski.
Nope. That is
fighting
a different
AC
show.
Slater in the hallway.
Still a different show.
Lisa's over there, being the odd person out because they threw her in because she was an African American but didn't really have anything for her to do.
I think you're mixing up your shows.
Excuse you?
Yeah, that's Saved by the Bell.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Obviously, they were all pining for Topanga.
It's Boy Meets World,
Big
which
Brother,
is probably 6 years later.
Big Brother Eric.
Nope. No.
It's William Friedley. Got Ryder Strong. Played Sean. He's the bad boy. You take your Dylan McKay and stick it.
Oh, boy, that would be nice to have a bad boy tournament.
Who
do you think? I think it's still got to be Dylan, though.
It's such a different age bracket. Like the people watching Beverly Hills 90210 weren't watching Boy Meets World about a 6th grader who lives next to his principal.
Yeah.
They're watching Dylan McKay, trying to have sex with 18 women an episode because he's, living on a houseboat, like you said.
I don't think he did live on a houseboat, but he may have. I just remember anytime there was a Dylan scene, it was like, man, that guy's so cool.
He's wearing his jeans with flip-flops.
Everything about that guy's cool.
Do you think, did Dylan have a jet ski? Was there some subconscious?
I bet Dylan had a jet ski.
Do you think maybe that stuck in your subconscious so much that after watching Beverly Hills 90210 and then like 8 to 10 years later you just decide, oh man, Steve McKay
come on,
needs a jet ski to ride on the open seas?
I think he. Let's see. Yeah, Beverly Hills 90210. Hold on. I'll pull up a screenshot of it. There's your boy Dylan right there. Dylan almost died again.
Oh my gosh. So that's what it was. You were so enamored with Dylan McKay that years later you thought you had to have a jet ski.
Yeah.
Like a repressed memory, and it came flowing back in the form of dollars to a jet ski dealer who couldn't believe he got this sucker. Right. But yeah, it passed away after a massive stroke the same day that a reboot, a mockumentary style reboot of Beverly Hills 90210 was announced.
Yeah, it was going to be them.
Not Luke Perry.
I don't think him and Shannon Doherty hadn't signed on yet. Well,
because Luke Perry had a full-time gig, being I think he's a regular on a CW show,
Riverdale.
So he was going to do a few here and there. But yeah, it's very sad, very sad. But you're right; those are the ones that are the worst.
Don't like that at all.
Not drug overdose and nothing like that, because it's like, oh hey, that their hand was responsible for that. But the
out of the blue,
can't explain brain aneurysm or strokes or whatever. Those are horrifying.
Yeah.
For that, Jennifer Lopez, you got your balloons, your cards, your chocolates, everything ready?
Ready to go.
Her and A-Rod are engaged, Steve.
Oh, thank God. Honestly, I thought they already were. I knew they had been together for a long time. I thought they were engaged. I wouldn't even have been surprised if you had said they had been married for 10 years.
They both posted at the exact same time because social media is the way the world works now. It's the biggest diamond I've ever seen in my life.
Of course.
I mean, I don't even know if I could think of... It's probably bigger than your garage. Like, it's just stupid. Okay. It's so stupid the way it hung on her
talking
finger.
Like current garage or like my pole barn aspirations.
The workshop garage.
Yeah, with the upstairs glass bottom pool.
Before that, R. Kelly in the news again was arrested. Not for the sexual assault charges this week. He owed $163,000 in child support payments. And for the second time in 2 weeks, released from prison after fans and supporters paid his bills. Isn't that insane?
Now, I do believe in the whole innocent until proven guilty thing. I mean, it's like the backbone of this country. But I also do believe in where there's smoke, there's fire. These accusations have been going on for 20 years.
Yeah. About
R. Kelly. So
I like Bruce Springsteen. I'm not emptying my bank account to get him out of prison.
No, especially if it's for like a heinous act like that.
And this guy was one of the biggest R&B singers, probably the biggest on the planet for a while. And he is to the point now where he can't pay $160,000 because he doesn't have it in back child support to his ex-wife. But that is an ongoing...
Do you think he has it and it's just hidden somewhere?
I don't think he's smart enough.
Yeah.
This is a guy who got, bailed out of prison and went back to the same McDonald's that night where he had been picking up teenage girls.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he's smart enough to have anything in the Cayman Islands or whatever.
He did that Gayle King interview in which he just flipped out, and to which a lot of people are saying this is exactly what an abuser does.
Yeah.
When they're confronted, they scream and yell and make a big fuss until they've regained control of the situation. I thought Gayle King handled that so perfectly.
Was sitting there.
She just sat there, looked up at him. She didn't flinch. She didn't cower and get up and leave or anything.
Sure.
Couldn't have handled that better. Thought it was awesome. To me, all that did was just prove how guilty he really was.
Sure.
I guess. That was that's ridiculous. And I'm sorry, but you can't use, if your only defense is, I would have to be so stupid to do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, this is not the first time you've gotten in trouble for this, man.
Yeah.
So
there's some corroborating things there that make it look very bad. Now, I think he is going to trial for a lot of these charges now, right? So we will see in open court here, and who knows how quick that system goes. But what a weird saga. Again, I mean, this guy was, I'm pretty sure he is the singer of my class song from high school.
What was the song?
The song from Ali. World's Greatest, the greatest. I think it's World's Greatest.
Yeah, okay, I know what the song.
That's our class song.
How's that feel?
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Do you think
class artist was Michael Jackson? Class athlete was Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah.
A lot of good choices there.
Yep.
I thought it was weird that they voted for a
class coach, Joe Pa.
I thought it was weird that at that point they voted for a high school tight end to be class athlete from Florida, but hey, here we are.
Look, the world works in weird ways.
And before that, Steve, the most important story this upcoming week, Selection Sunday.
Boy, is it time to make the selections.
We are 1 week away from the NCAA tournament bracket being unveiled. Who do you have as your 1 seeds? Who are your last 4 in, your first 4 out, Steve?
Well, I mean, my number 1 seeds obviously are Denver. San Antonio State.
Sure, SASU.
Mm-hmm. That's it, because, I mean, as well as I do who went there. Tim Riggins.
Obviously, yeah, and that, just a stop on his bigger journey.
Sure. And then, in the Northern Division, I'm still trying to figure out who my number 1 seeds are.
Sure,
but I think Northern Division, I think I'm going with Tallahassee.
Oh, good. Wow, that's a trip for them all the way from Florida all the way up to the north.
Well, because of the restructuring and redrawing district lines.
Damn gerrymandering.
and of course the mighty Tigers.
Sure, the Tigers, the squad over there. Oh, man, a lot to talk about. I mean, we've got borderline 1s and 2s. You've got Duke, who has all the name power that you'd hope for a number 1 seed, but they've lost to North Carolina twice. So is North Carolina going to be the 1 seed? What do you do about the Big Ten? Now, you've got Michigan State and Michigan, both borderline 1 to 2 seeds. Does one of them fall down to a 3? How do you play that out? This is a year where the Pac-12, way out west, been disrespected for a few years, underperformed in the tournament, Steve. How many of those teams even make the tournament, let alone the Big 12, a down year?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, sorry, we're up against it.
Shortest episode in 6 months.
All right, number 1, Jim Ross.
I'm not going to launch into a wrestling diatribe because this means bigger things. I hope.
Right, of course, yeah. You'd never do such a thing.
Excuse you? I don't know what you're referencing, Steve. I hope this means he's behind a microphone again.
Number 2, daylight saving time. Not savings as everyone thinks it is. It's daylight saving time.
All those daylights I've saved.
How do you feel about it? Are you one of the people that will complain for the next 3 weeks? Like,
no.
Oh, man, that hour.
Listen, it's unfortunate in the spring, but I also don't care because it's 1 hour. That's the same person who is complaining about jet lag going from Central to Eastern time zone.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Okay, 3rd on the list, the NCAA tournament.
Oh my gosh, Steve! So much intrigue.
Safe
You've
to
got
say it's your favorite sports time of year.
It's the holy grail of the sports season. For
So
me.
you like this better than when your Michigan State Spartans are playing football in the fall?
Yeah, this is like 32 games in a weekend. It's
So-
nonstop, and there's
Is your tradition continuing this year where you go to the...
TBD.
Really?
Yeah, haven't heard from him in months.
Oh, no.
And a little different with a little one around now.
Yeah.
So,
But this, I mean, that's huge, though. That is
like
something
year
that-
8 or 9, I look forward to it. I really do. But
and who would because I thought it was a group of you, like a big group of
it
people.
was mainly me and one of my friends who would organize it, and then other people would kind of come and go as they'd please, but we would be there for the duration of the day. It doesn't seem likely.
You need a real expert to
Oh, you're
join?
going to hang out for 13 hours at the bar?
I'll be there. I'll be there. I mean, you know how much I love A, drinking, and B, college hoops.
Well, you're going to need to get
day of
super
the week is it
excited
on?
when the Murray. It's a Thursday.
I am not going to be there. Wait, does it happen to be this coming Thursday, like
No.
3 days from now?
No, next week Thursday.
Because if it was this Thursday, I could be there.
Nope, it is following Thursday, and I need someone who is just as joyous when the Murray State Racers pull an upset.
So,
in the
ladies and
first
gentlemen,
round.
Kyle is looking for a basketball friend
Oof, not really.
to join him for 13 hours. 13 hours of hoops action.
I mean, that's true. There's nothing false about it. I love it. I love the tournament. That opening weekend is my favorite 4 days of sports all year.
Okay. All right. What number was I on? That was, of course, the big controversy, the new controversy. I think you're going to be on board with this. Fake Melania.
Oh, I love it.
You're in?
I think it's a body double. I'm all in.
I had never heard of it until just recently.
Yeah.
100% in.
Oh, there's no question that it's not her, right?
It's definitely not her.
Oh, man.
Okay. And finally, R. Kelly. Talked about that at length already.
Fan bases of artists and sports teams and athletes are the weirdest people on the planet, and they're a cesspool, and they need to be purged. And I say that as they collected $160,000 to get this man who is, well, he broke the law. He didn't pay his child support
Right.
to get him out of prison.
Yeah, I can almost understand it for the allegations against him for all the other stuff he's done or supposedly done, because they haven't been proven yet, but it's been proven that he hasn't paid his child support.
Right.
So what are you doing? Okay, before that was fake Melania. This is the newest conspiracy theory
I love it.
on the internet that Melania Trump, the First Lady of the United States, has not been going along on trips with her husband, the
Certain
president,
trips, yeah.
because she does not want to be with him for whatever reason.
Well, because he's a cheater and
be
a
it.
terrible man.
Could be it.
And
Yeah, maybe.
nobody really likes him.
Yep, maybe. Yet to be determined, though. Fake Melania, the conspiracy theory, says that there's been a body double in her place.
And it looks like her Secret Service agent. So
They do look a lot
of
alike.
people are saying,
they look a lot alike. They're roughly the same, like the same build.
yeah,
Height difference a little bit, but
this
I'm sure that could be made up for with heels or whatever, so
Yeah.
she could look taller, look lower heels, look shorter. But I was going through these pictures before we started. It's pretty. I mean, it looks like it's not her in a lot of pictures.
Yeah, and this was brought up because they're Donald Trump and what is supposed to be Melania are down in the Alabama, right? Mm-hmm. Where the devastating tornadoes killed 23 people, and some stills started popping up from the video of them observing the crosses of the people who lost their lives, and her face doesn't look like her face.
No.
And it's very eerie because the question is now there. Is it actually her? Because, she had that weird, routine medical thing last year, and then she was just gone
missing
for a year.
Yeah.
Or however long. It was forever.
Wasn't it over a month or something?
It was weird. And all of the verbal sign, all of the nonverbal signs, the body language signs are there that she despises him. There's the videos of him trying to hold her hand and her
She just
slapping him.
slaps it away.
It's very clear that this is being kept together while he's in office because it's not like this would be a scandal that brought him down. Nothing will be. But for a public appearance, the way that looks, they're trying to keep them together for now. But I have a feeling that thing is over and gone, that marriage.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm all in, Steve.
I'm in too.
Hashtag fake Melania. That is her.
I love a
not
good
her.
conspiracy theory, and I will continue to support that till the end.
You've been trumpeting for a while now that Lee Harvey Oswald didn't do it. Good man on a bad day.
Boy, I don't know about that. I feel like that has that's some revisionist history there. Before that, we had the NCAA tournament, your favorite time of the year.
You got Duke, Zion Williamson out. One of their top 4 players goes out last night in the rematch with North Carolina. North Carolina sweeps the season series, takes the ACC regular season championship. Do you make both of them?
Oh, boy. That cut out quick. All right, daylight saving time before that.
Man, it's an hour. Seriously.
The extent of my adjustment to daylight saving time this morning was waking up. I looked at my phone, and it said it was like 8:40, and then I got downstairs, and the clock in the kitchen was an hour different, and I said, oh yeah, that's right, time's different.
Right.
I didn't go, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
Making a scene about this is a joke. If 1 hour is affecting your body, you're a liar.
Yeah.
Or
you have like the most regimented and strict sleep schedule ever.
Yeah, and it's 1 hour very I get it. Hey, 1 hour you could, get a couple more things done during the day.
Right, but
let it just relax.
But after the first day, it like the playing field's even.
Now the reasoning is that a lot of places it's for energy costs, right? That's why they do it here. It's supposed to help us. So hey, we don't need to use the electricity as much
guess
because
so.
the sun's out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the difference is because how many states are there now that don't participate? Isn't there
There's a handful, yeah.
right? Like Arizona doesn't.
I think Indiana.
Indiana might there's always these bills, and it floats up every year.
Yeah.
And there's probably bills now floating through. Hey, one guy's going to say, we need to stop this, and nobody wants it anymore.
I just don't care about it.
I don't.
For me, everyone is like making such a big stink about it. Oh, we got to do away with this. Why?
Yeah.
Because like I said, after the first day, everything is normal again. Like our days still...
It's fine.
Yeah. Sun just comes up and sets at a different time.
If it was 3 hours, once a year or whatever, then I could see hey, this is a pretty large inconvenience, but it's not. So
No.
I remember, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, I was at, I want to say it was a bar in Chicago or somewhere, and they had to call last call twice because the clock rolls back an hour. Now that's neat. I enjoy that. I wasn't complaining about it,
right?
But I don't get the big uproar about it. And again, I'm sure a few more states will move here and there, and we'll waste legislature time. Did you see there was video this week of the Nickelback and Imagine Dragons debate was on the Congress floor? But
that's important.
I could see daylight saving time coming to the congressional floor for the dumbest debate in history.
Yeah, I mean, if Nickelback was being debated, why not that too?
Oh, yeah, I said it. I'll leave it up. I'll leave the hot take on this episode. This is a personal take, and I'm not even going to leave on the Twitter feed. Nickelback is fine.
I have no problem with Nickelback.
Imagine Dragons, fine. I said that was already on Twitter, but it's the same.
I'm not going to go out, and I probably won't go to their shows, but I'm not. I don't hate them because everyone else does.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's a mob mentality now. I'll never
especially with Nickelback, they've sold 30 million albums. And people like them. They're probably decent.
Music snobs are the worst.
Yeah.
At least with an art snob, I know. I don't know art.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell me that this represents the downfall of the industrial complex, whatever. I'm not going to know what I'm looking at. It looks like a leaf with a water drop next to it, and then or the other art is someone threw paint at a mat for a half hour, and this represents the ever growing population. No, it doesn't.
Okay,
but with music, I can discern what's okay to my ears.
Sure.
And it doesn't have to be this local garage band who sold 8 albums, but you swear they're the best.
Yeah.
Like, no. Music snobs are if you're a music snob, stop.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
Terrible.
Just like what you like and let other people like what they like.
Finally, on the Fast Five, Jim Ross. Is he going to be done? He's retiring?
No, he's going to go to that all-new promotion, Steve. It's All Elite Wrestling.
All Elite Wrestling.
Which is what...
haven't even heard of it.
The biggest independent wrestlers left, and they've been independent and doing other circuits, and they decided to start up a promotion with the son of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who is Tony Khan, I believe is the guy. So billions of dollars behind it. They're running an event in Las Vegas this May. The idea is that they'll be on TV this fall. My thinking with Jim Ross leaving WWE is Jim Ross, the voice of so many wrestling, all of the wrestling memories, really, right? I mean,
sure.
When you see WWE highlights or even clips on that,
it's Jim Ross.
It's always Jim Ross.
Now, did he leave for a while, though?
He did leave for a while. There was some bad blood, some issues happened. He's not really back. He's only, I mean, he called the Royal Rumble match this year, and that's it. That's all he does. He only does, Legends appearances.
He's gotta be old, too. He's in his 70s, I would bet.
He's in his 70s. He has the Bell's palsy. His wife passed away or was killed in a car accident a couple of years ago. You'd think he'd want to take a back seat, but listen, this guy is the voice of wrestling forever. And he's now going to have the chance to call a brand new promotion with the son of one of his best friends, Cody Rhodes, the son of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
That's starting up this year. I think that's the most logical output. But yeah, I mean, the voice of my wrestling youth, like done with, the organization that wrestling's associated with. That's a weird way to see it.
JR.
Old JR, Jerry the King Lawler. You may be old enough to remember, who was it? Gorilla Monsoon on the table. Yeah. Vince McMahon on the announcer's desk with all those guys. A bygone era, Steve. Yeah. Now we just get Ronda Rousey calling everybody mean names, and it's fake.
Oh, is that her thing?
Tune into WrestleCast. Hear the rest of my thoughts on that.
Thanks for listening. You can download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, Spotify. Call or text your comments and questions and concerns. 424-30-SK-POD. That's 424-30-75763. Find us on Twitter at Stephen Kyle, Facebook.com/Stephen Kyle. Also on Instagram at Stephen Kyle.
Yeah, please do send those questions. I do promise something is coming. We've kind of fallen off the wagon there the last few weeks with planning this, but something is coming in regards to that. So please send us those questions, whether it be on Twitter, DM us, or Facebook message, or use that phone number. You can text it as well, 424-30-SK-POD.
Also, StephenKyle.com/merch, especially if you're coming to the Billboard in just under a month, or if you're going to be at one of the side gigs, live shows over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Always appreciated to see the Stephen Kyle merch in the crowd.
I love it. I love getting those images of, like, I have infiltrated the side gig, and it's a shot of the stage in the background and a Stephen Kyle shirt in the foreground. I love it.
I love it. All right. Talk to you next week.